you again for being a part of this very special occasion. Bill, there's some of your people I don't know. I see Ralph here, but I don't know where they're not. Bill Jordan is here, but the Farmers State Bank, is Bill here? Bill and Ralph? Now, I know both you people have been involved in it. Ralph, you've been involved in this from the very beginning. And the Farmers State Bank of Quinton, I understand. Bill Jordan, President, James Perryman Trust. So, thank you again. I would tell you this, that the banks over the state of Oklahoma have been extremely helpful to us as we have established the program. So, yeah. Okay, one of the first contacts that I guess I had with people, of course, I knew Mr. Perryman, but the Reasoner family. Of course, I had Steve in class this past year, and of course, I've enjoyed having him in class too. And in fact, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 of my former students out here, and if you all, most of you, if you'll help me out of town, I'll make sure I can outrun them back to Stillwater. But don't leave me down here in the dark with some of those former students. But a family that got involved very early, Leo and Phyllis Reasoner. Leo, Phyllis, would you come forward, please? And Leo and Phyllis, thanks for being a part of tonight, and thanks for all the help that you've given us. I'd like to also, we had an extra plaque made up for Leo because I think he was the first person that began to talk about a trust, got interested in the trust, and an extra plaque that you can hang in your house as the local coordinator, even though I know you had a lot of help from a lot of other people. Bill, thank you very much. Again, thanks for letting us be a part of this evening. And when we first started the scholarship program, one of the things that we had to prove that the local community concept, the grassroots concept, would work. That we could go into local communities with the scholarship program and they'd want to get involved. Thank you very much for being involved and allowing us to honor Mr. Perryman. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pritchard. And we appreciate if you'd relay our thanks back to the trust, the board of directors, and the people in Ag Ed at OSU. This program is still open for contributions. It isn't closed. I don't know if it ever closes, but of course you get the contributions as you begin a program like this. So we have several other people that have contributed to this program already. And I want to ask Ralph Carpenter to come forward and read those names to you of the people that have contributed to this program. Ralph?
You know, different places act different ways, and when they came down in our first meeting, we told him that we would do this tonight, and he said, hey, we've tried it and it won't work. I said, you haven't been to Kenna yet. So anyway, we had to guarantee him $1,000 that first evening, and we did it. We just felt that our community thought that much of Mr. Perryman that we could guarantee him $1,000, and you saw a lot more than that already here. But we have a lot of little people also, not little people, but people that can't maybe or is not able to give as much money. And everybody couldn't contact me, and so after I read this list, Leo and Phyllis Reasoner are going to be over here, and as you leave, if you would like to contribute to this living trust that we're setting up tonight for Mr. Perryman, I want y'all to feel free to do so. The list that I have already is Leonard and Ellis Hunter, $20. Opal Collins, $25. Okay. Okay, if y'all are here, if you'll hold your hand up, Leonard Hunter.
Where's Leonard? Not here.
Opal Collins. Okay. Mr. and Ms. Ross Severs. Not here. Okay. Jack Ogle and Virginia Martindale. They're back there on the back. Mr. and Ms. Harold Windlett. Bill Carter is not here. He donated, Jack Ogle and Virginia Martindale donated $20. Mr. and Ms. Harold Windlett donated $25. Bill Carter is not here either. He donated $50. Mr. and Ms. S.B. Sims, $25. Mr. and Ms. Jean Carter, $50. They're not here. Ralph and Colleen Carpenter, $25. Mr. and Ms. Hub Halsey, $20. Mr. and Ms. J.L. Adams, $25. Mr. and Ms. John Edwards, $50. Superintendent right here. Mr. and Ms. Danny Tackett, don't think they're here. Curtis and Wilma Perryman, $25. Dennis Perryman, $7, probably right in there, too, somewhere, Leo. Dennis Perryman. Danny Perryman, $20. Got that? We haven't had the opportunity to see each one individually, so tonight, if you'd like to stand up and tell how much you'd like to pledge to this trust, it's fine. If not, as you leave, if you'd like to do it, just stop by there and tell them what you'd like to do. Thank you.
I'll open the meeting up for contributions here in a moment, but don't worry about the lights. If it gets too dark, Jay Boggs can turn the lights on this film, can't you, Jay? Right. But this has truly been, as I've said before, Mr. Perryman's day. And I want to give him the opportunity to come up here and say a few words to you here this evening. Mr. Perryman.
I want to thank you. I know, as I've had some experience trying to put a meeting on once, kind of like this, but and I know what you've had to do to get ready for this, and I appreciate that thought, and that was as far as I thought until this other happened. I got ready to write a speech and thought I ought to know what I was going to say. I laid out some stuff, and on the top of it was some set of rules, and it was one that Dr. Pritchard gave us up there at Stillwater, from a fellow that, going to try to teach someone to speak. And anyway, had this set of rules, and down there, one of them was left this laying there, and on one of these rules says, don't tell a joke if you can't tell a joke. And I left this around there and was going in and out and working, and I came back, and someone had been scribbling around there, and they had changed this rule, and it said, don't tell a joke, you can't tell a joke. I think Clarabelle was the one that marked that word out. But you know, you just take that little if out of there, and it can satisfy the way things are going. But I want to tell all of you that I appreciate this and what you've said and what you've done, and in some cases, boys, what you haven't said. Anyway, a person couldn't have come to Kenna when I did and had the administration